Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Trevor, 16Shooter. Today is September 28th, and this is a quick shot of news for September 28th, 2023. How are you? Hi, it's the morning. I'm sufficiently caffeinated up, so should be okay. Let's see who's in the chat here. We got Cloud saying good morning. What's up? Could be. We'll get to that. Yep. What's up, Art? Thanks for joining us. Cap Lives. What's up, Cap? What's going on, man? Jurassic Jesse. What's up, man? Stephanie. What's going on? Good morning. Sathyam. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Braku. Great video the other day. That was very funny. What's up, Brad? Hey, what's up, Moz? Yeah, there's some stuff to talk about here. So let's jump into Spider-Punk and Prowler went live. Okay, cool. Didn't realize that. Did you pre-order already? What's up, man? What's going on? There's very few things that I really pre-order at this point, like really, day one pre-order stuff. So I gotta avoid those two, man. That Spider-Punk looks so good. We're talking about the Hot Toys Spider-Punk, and it looks really good. But if I go down that rabbit hole, I'm gonna have to have the rest of them, and I just don't want to do that. So, Art, yeah, man, I'll be there Friday and Saturday so far. I may get a Thursday ticket, but I don't know. We'll see. But definitely Friday and Saturday. If you're gonna be there, let me know. I know Kevin's gonna be there from Toying Around, so we got to meet up. Everybody's got to get together. Nice, man. Congratulations. That's cool. All right, so let's get going because we try to keep these shows pretty tight. We got, let me see if I can get to the, geez, should have had this set up. Here we go. Boom. So this morning, let me move myself over here. Nope, that's not what I want. Nope, that's not what I want. That's what I want. There you go. Chopper. If you've been watching Ahsoka or if you were a Rebels fan, you definitely know Chopper. And if you've been watching Ahsoka and you weren't a Rebels fan, you might have gotten to know Chopper. He hasn't been in too many scenes, but he's fun, man. He was just in the scene in Tuesday's episode for a little bit. I won't do any spoilers here, but he was in there for a brief few seconds, and he's great. I mean, I really at first Rebels didn't quite appeal to me, but then when you get into it, you really start to love the characters, and Chopper is a great fun droid. And I've been wanting a Chopper for a while. I actually bought like a resin version of a Chopper to paint up years ago and never really finished it, and very limited. Just it would have been just a kind of a sit there and stay in its place. The head turned around, but like this, they've got the tilt, because if you've seen it, Chopper's head not only rotates, but it tilts back and forth, and it looks like by the pictures that they've got that in place. They've got all the arms, the articulated arms off his the top of his we'll call it a head. They look to be very well articulated. He can do a lot with those things. They get him in some incredible positions here. So I think this is did I hear 238 on this, which, I mean, listen, it's still strange to be saying like that for like a droid figure, but because I mean, when I started this things out, like 238 was a pretty high price for an average figure, and it was getting up there. 250 was like your top end, so 238 for a droid, it's getting up there. But there is a lot to him, and it does look really good. I would have. There is some weathering here now that I'm seeing it. There's some stuff around. It still looks a little too clean. Yeah, Chopper's kind of a dirty dude. But yeah, he looks good, and it looks like he's properly proportioned next to R2, because he's a shorter mech droid, isn't it? The full body, like the other mechs, or some other mechs. But yeah, I love it. I love the wheel and everything that he's got going on here. And that either retracts or comes off. Not sure which one that's going to be. Probably comes off. Talking about the third wheel here. So yeah, that's Chopper. Look at that. I mean, that's great. Look at that articulation. That's really good. Really, really good. Yeah, I know, man. It's getting crazy. I think I heard 238. It is over 2. So it is in the 220s to 230s area. I don't think he's up yet, but yeah, that's what I heard for based on the Hong Kong dealer prices and stuff. So and yeah, they did actually. Let's go over to that because and you get the Huyang hologram here, which is kind of cool and doesn't look like it's one of those holograms that's with a special edition or deluxe version or whatever, which is cool. Did we miss the? So yeah, I mean, not a ton with him, but he's got a lot of parts that are moving and stuff like that. So as with droids, it's generally not a lot of stuff with him. There we go. There's Hera. So they're teasing Hera here, which looks pretty good. Um, these actually look leather, right? They don't look pleather. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. It's like a thicker material, so that would be interesting. I'm sure the jacket isn't, but yeah, hopefully we see Hera soon. Can't imagine they're going to stretch that out. I think they're just probably. I mean, next week's the finale, so can't imagine that they're going to stretch that out too much longer with Hera to make us wait. What was that one? Sorry, Mons. If Hot Toys Miss Hera right, she will always be looking over her shoulder. uh, yeah, yeah. I don't. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Standard Hot Toys are becoming. They're in the 270 range now, man. It's weird because you still kind of you jump back to those times. Thrawn is definitely coming, Maverick. Thrawn is definitely coming. That is going to happen for sure. Dad bod Thrawn and all, but he's going to happen, guaranteed. There's people have been clamoring for that figure forever. I think somebody, and I don't know if it's going to be Hot Toys or Sideshow, and Sideshow seems to have at least for the Clone Wars, seems to have a lock on those figures, those kind of animated look figures. So we may see them do something. I don't know if they have the Rebels license or not, but we may see them do something with the cartoon versions of these, as they've been doing with the Clone Wars, like Anakin and stuff. And they may do a Thrawn, if that's the case. I think there was a Sideshow Thrawn out a long time ago. It's a very dated figure now, but it still goes for quite a bit of money. And they even act his throne and stuff from the books. That was based on the stories, of course, before Rebels. But yeah, we'll definitely see Thrawn, and I know people want Balin and Shin too. So we'll see. We'll see how this show's doing. By all accounts, I'm enjoying it. I think the dialogue is a little stilted, and I have some issues with it. But and there's times when I try to put that aside, and there's times when I'm like, I just can't. Like it's bothering me too much. But I mean, overall, I'm loving seeing Rebels in live action. So we'll see. We'll see how it happens. But Sideshow's Cad Bane is also happening. Yep, and if that's supposed to drop today, that's cool. That looks pretty cool. I mean, that's there you go. If you want that cartoon look, that's the Clone Wars Bad Batch look to Cad Bane as opposed to the Boba Fett look that Sideshow or Hot Toys came out with. Yeah, I do too. I kind of I stayed away from those Clone Wars figures because first of all, Sideshow body wise, they're not good. But if they did the Rebels, I don't know, maybe I got a good set of like 1/12 Rebels, or yeah, from Hasbro with some custom heads, and they look good, but it would be tempting. It would be tempting to get heads, like third-party heads for these that were the cartoon versions of these characters. That would be kind of cool. I'd actually buy those. Yeah, Sabina's 2 from Sony One at Harrow will be the same. Yeah, for sure. And with the Leku and stuff like that, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll probably be in the 270 range, most likely. Yeah, and we'll definitely get spoilers for the show, but we'll definitely get Ahsoka the White too as well. So, all right, let's move on to our next piece of um, news here. InArt posted this yesterday, I believe, and nope, actually just 4 hours ago. Then get some pin posts after that, I think. So 4-day countdown to the Shanghai Wonder Festival. So this is happening on the October 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd in Shanghai, China, and they are going to be revealing apparently some new prototypes anyway, and that's the way they'll do it. This they'll be picked apart and they won't be finals, and they'll come out with something else. Probably touched up a little bit later, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they've learned their lesson and they're going to put their best foot forward with all of these. But from the surface, this looks to be. If we zoom in here, and I brighten this up, but it really doesn't give you anything, in another file, but it doesn't really give you any more information than you've got here. I guess I could show that one instead. There we go. They did a good job hiding everything, but this is very obviously a Christopher Reeves Superman and Clark Kent. I'm all about that. I've been looking at the Christopher Reeve Hot Toy Superman for years and hovering over so many times, like buying it from either somebody used or, well, I mean, really, they're mostly all used. I mean, there's very few of them you can find that are still in package, brand new. But you might not want to buy that because they probably wouldn't be in great shape if they were sitting in the boxes for that long. But Hot Toys did a great job with it. But I mean, you just know InArt is going to knock this out of the park. And Clark Kent Soups, he's one of the few Supermen that I love the Clark Kent character as much as I like Superman. I mean, he's Superman for me, man. I mean, it's a little old school. I mean, Cavill's great. He looked great. I just don't think they ever made Cavill like that. The DCU is so dark. You know what I mean? Like, I just never felt like he had a light-sided Kent, and I just really love the way Christopher Reeve played Clark Kent. So I would definitely be in on a 2-pack for that. Not going to be cheap, but. And then, well, let's go to the other side. So this is very obviously Dumbledore. They're doing the Harry Potter figures. Now the question is, Michael, I think it's Gambon, played him in the 2 movies after Richard Harris passed away. I'm going to assume this is the Richard Harris version because they're starting with kind of the baby Harry Potter, not baby Harry Potter, but young Harry Potter from the first movie. So I'm assuming this is going to be Richard Harris. But it would be kind of cool. I mean, expensive because of the hair, but it would be kind of cool to see if they did a second version that had like the 2 different heads. You could swap them out, though. There are probably costume changes between the movies that I don't know because I'm not that big of a Potterhead. So there's probably some changes in between the movies that wouldn't make sense for that. But I'm just going to assume this is the Richard Harris version. But rest in peace to Michael Gambon, who just passed away today, I guess, 82. And then this is very clearly Daenerys Targaryen, which they've stated previously that they're going to do. It looks like a season 7, more of that winter look in the north. It's not my favorite look. It's a good look, but it doesn't really define the character as much for me. But yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time resisting this one too, just because I know they're gonna nail it, and it's gonna look great, and the hair is gonna look great. Kind of hoping if it works out, they'll do some different versions of her. More along the lines of what 3-0 did with the dragons, with like the season, I want to say 2 or 3 look for her with the blue dress, or even the white dress would be even better. The white dress would be great. We'll see. What are we guys saying over here? Controversial. Snyder never understood the DC characters. Yeah, I guess I'd have to somewhat agree with that. I mean, people think he did a decent job with Batman. Batman's a very moody, dark character, and I think that the movies just all took on that sort of feel, and I think Soups just needs to be lighter for me. Uh, in some way, he's just kind of that Boy Scout, bright, character, kind of cartoonishly, but I didn't get that with. I think Cavill was perfect for it, and I think he probably could have pulled that off. I just don't think they gave it to him to do so. Yeah, there you go. Well, that was the tagline, right? You will believe a man can fly. Cavill would have been great if he was allowed to actually play Superman. Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's perfectly cast. I mean, obviously got the build for it, the height for it. He's got the look, the face. Obviously without the mustache, but they just I don't know, man. For me, that whole thing was a mess, just a mess. And I don't have any ties to it. As much as he looks great, and as much as the InArt Superman looks amazing, amazing looking figure, I just don't have any interest. I don't have any interest in it because it's. I mean, there's going to be somebody new playing it in a few years, and that may be that may be more definitive. Who knows? Maybe they get it right this time, and it's better, and that's what you want on your shelf. I don't know. But there are people who love it, and that's cool. And they want the Trinity, and I think Gal Gadot did a great job with Wonder Woman. I thought the first movie was great. It's probably my favorite movie out of all the original DCU movies. Anyway, I'm going on and on here. Yes, he just passed away. We talked about that. Harry Potter Hot Toys. Oh no, Potter fans are in trouble. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, the Harry Potter from InArt, and not Hot Toys either. They're even more trouble because this is InArt, and these figures go for right around the $400 or $500 mark, depending on the amount of work that has to be done to the hair and stuff. But probably never under about a 400 piece. They give you a lot of extra parts. The Harry Potter has like a cool, really cool dial with it, but they're pricey. They're pricey. Yeah, they have plastic hair versions, sculpted hair versions of some of them. I don't think these long haired characters like Gandalf and Dumbledore are going to have that option because it just doesn't. It's not their thing. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. So, um, yeah, I just sold that actually. I never thought she was way undersized, really strangely undersized to the rest of the figures that they had. And I mean the dragons for me weren't look bad. The pegs in the stand was pain. Yeah, it didn't work very well. Um oh, okay. Well, do tell. Do tell, Cloud. So the other surprises. Okay, so we've gone over all these. This right here, if you're a Tolkien fan, and well, I mean, listen, these movies weren't great. They kind of shortchanged them and tried to rush these out and really screwed over, I think, the makers and things like that. But this is Thorin Oakenshield from The Hobbit, which is interesting because it's that along with Bilbo Baggins I believe, is the only two figures that Asmus Toys ever did from The Hobbit as well. Did they do one of the orcs? They might have done an orc. I don't remember. I don't have it, so I don't know. But this is most definitely Thorin Oakenshield. We were expecting Legolas. They've been teasing that since the day they announced that they were going to start doing 1/6 figures. Hasn't come along yet. Aragorn should be coming along fairly soon. I just got my Gandalf in. Love that figure so far. Haven't even really opened it. Just took out the sculpt, and it looks amazing. But Thorin was a great character. Those movies were terrible. I have to say. I mean, for the most part. I mean, there's bits and pieces in there that are good. It's fun. It's great to see Gandalf back in action and stuff. But for the most part, very rushed and kind of weird. But Thorin was great. He was a standout, and I love the Asmus one. But the hair was always like kind of, it was that synthetic hair that was. They did an okay job with it for what they have, but this is going to be incredible. So, um, really hope that I don't hope they don't do too many. I really want to see more hobbits. Like, it's great that they're doing a dwarf body, so this we know that they'll do Gimli most likely. And they have said on occasion that they will do the Fellowship. So depending on how many years that's going to take, that'll be great. All right, let's move over from 1/6 over into 1/12 and The Mask from Mezco. This was teased a while ago. We knew this was coming. I think actually it might have been on display at SDCC. Somebody correct me. I don't know how I knew this was coming. I think they either talked about it, teased it. I don't remember offhand now, but I do somehow remember that we knew this was coming. This might have been in one of their other. This might have been a tease from MezCon, because this was RumbleCon that they just had recently. So maybe it was a MezCon tease. But anyway, yeah, The Mask from not the movie, the Jim Carrey movie, but the, in my opinion, much superior comic book, which was great. Came out about the time in the 90s as The Crow did. I remember kind of picking both of these up and just loving the direction of comic books at that time. There was some really cool stuff coming out. So, extrememly violent, much more violent than I remember the movies being. And I think I've only seen the movie once because I just didn't hit me the way I like. I was expecting the comic book, and again, comic book super violent in a funny way, and the the movie a little more cartoonish. Don't know why this does this all the time. This Mezco interface. Very cool. Like, that's cool. I like that. It's creepy. That weird mask way. Now, a lot of people were saying, why didn't they have some more? Suit looks pretty good. It's a little thick, but it's not bad. Just trying to get to the end here so we could see what it comes with, but apparently Mezco's interface doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. All right. So you get the three faces, you get the bullet head, you get the kind of the shaky looking around, what's going on, blah, 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 head, whatever that is. But that's it. I mean, I think he did the dog head in the comic book as well. He turned into it was a lot of things. I mean, obviously it could be anything. So, yeah, I guess people were a little surprised that there weren't more heads, but it's Mezco. They'll probably come out with another version of this at some point and probably add some heads or something. Maybe sometimes they've done head accessory packs, but generally not for licensed characters that I can think of. So we'll see. Who knows? An array of weaponry. These things are nuts, but these are great. These are straight out of the book. Very cool. Crazy multiple 6 shooters there. So 112. There you go. Of course. For that, probably gonna pass on this one, and it's not an exclusive, so you'll be able to get this later on down the line through retailers and stuff, so you don't have to jump on it right away. Ships June to August 2024, so you got a little bit of a while to wait on this one. Cool. We'll see how popular that is. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people like the Jim Carrey version, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, not for the price. It's hard to say. Like, it doesn't seem so in the scheme of Mezco figures, but I mean, you get a lot of stuff here that's all new sculpting, and they're not just throwing in guns that came from other figures. I mean, these three might be, and these are obviously, well, maybe not the bombs. I don't know if I've seen the bombs before, but definitely the bullet firing effects, and 3 sculpts. I mean, 112. This is again, this is the kind of the going rate for Mezco at this point too. That sub $100 day, $100 days are kind of gone. Those $90 things, I think, for the most part. But that's that. Maybe they'll give us more accessories to the next wear of the mask they make. Maybe, possibly. What's up, Wing? Good morning. I like the first movie, and then they just added unnecessary plots to be able to stretch one book. Yeah, exactly. It just, yeah. Oh, we're talking about The Hobbit. Are we talking about The Hobbit? Yeah, The Hobbit was the first movie was pretty good. They stuck to kind of the story there, and I did like some of the scenes in that one. And yeah, the rest of it was just a mess, totally a mess. The mask scheme's overpriced for what you get. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, 112 is that 112 is that number, right? I mean, that's that number that they put out there now to kind of be cute and to just keep it over $100, just over $100. So, oh, you did get the red pyramid. Interesting. Okay, so I didn't know that was like one of your fandoms, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people getting that. Maz got that, I think. I think Maz got that. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, the collecting grid? All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about here, and right on time because it's almost 11 o'clock here. If you missed this, I don't have it in front of me. I just got the box the other day. If you missed the amazing Mask of the Red Death Figura Obscura figure that dropped as a quasi surprise, I mean, teased on Friday, dropped on Saturday. That's the way they do the Figura Obscuras. You don't know what's coming. There's a little tease. They tell you something's happening tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, and then 8 p.m. on the East Coast, so that you have a second chance at it. And that lasted into Monday, and then they sold out of that. But they came back and said, we've got some extras. It's going to cut into a little bit of the, some of the stuff that they'll bring to some of the shows and Legion's Lounge, which they said wasn't going to be too much to begin with. So you will have a second chance on Friday, 9/29 at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep, you got to wake up early if you're on the West Coast. I apologize. I don't apologize. What do I have to apologize for? That was my idea, but that's the way it is. But you'll have a second chance at this if you just you didn't have the funds at the time, slept on it for whatever reason on both drops, 3 days. But you will have another chance at this. Maybe you got paid, this week, and you can get this. So it's $60 for just the figure. There's a mug, a real cool Red Death mug. Got the graphic on it from Nate Barch and a little something on the bottom there too. Very cool, like tin camp mug, and then a pin for the all-in. I don't know if they're even going to have the all-ins. They may. I think they said they're going to have the mugs, right, Cloud? Because you were looking at a mug. I have a pin for you, Cloud, by the way. So if you just need the pin, let me know. But yeah, so that's going to go live on storehorseman.com, 9/29 at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this Friday, you'll have another chance at the Red Death. It's an amazing figure. The clock alone, if you're into toy photography, is a great prop for $60. You couldn't get that anywhere for $60 anyway, anything of that quality. So pick the figure, sell the figure if you just want the clock for that reason. But it's beautiful. I think it'll be hooked if you're not even into Mythic Legions or Figura Obscura. It's great, and it comes a little comic book that kind of tells you the story, which is just a short story by Edgar Allan Poe, which is creepy, man. You gotta love Poe. Poe was great. It's basically an analogy for the tuberculosis plague that was kind of going around at his time. It's great. It's a morality story to some degree. Just creepy. So that's that. So that's going to go live on Friday the 29th. So go get that at Store Horseman. I'll click on that. I don't think they got, so they do have a placeholder there for it. So on Friday at 9 a.m. and they don't have many, they said. So I don't know what that means. I don't know how many they're talking about. Before they sold out on Monday, they showed about 300 and like Sunday night, I think, available, or maybe that was Monday morning. So I can imagine it's probably less than that, a couple hundred maybe. Just guessing, don't know. So if you want them and you're on, West Coast time or whatever, set your alarm and go get them because they're very cool. Yeah, clock is super versatile. Yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, exactly. It's a great Stranger Things prop for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, Edgar Allan Poe is the shit, man. Yeah, so many good things. There's so many things that I could think of from Poe that they could do, and just like little details like the raven on top of the clock, as a nod to Poe and stuff. So, yeah, very cool. All right, kids, that's it. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Hit that like button if you don't mind, and leave me a comment as to if there's anything you're going to pick up here or anything else you saw out there that you want me to cover next time. Not saying anything specific, but like, hey, I want you to cover these things. There's a lot of stuff that I don't do just because it's not in my wheelhouse. some of the anime stuff and things like that. I'm not really, it's not really my thing, but maybe I can get somebody on here that does know a little bit more about that stuff if you're interested. So let me know. Um, Other than that, have a great weekend. 1 6-pack probably not happening tomorrow night. I am going to be away, which is a good thing, but bad news is I won't be able to do the 1 6-pack. We're tentatively talking about maybe doing it tonight, but I don't know. I might be a little busy. So if not, we'll bring it back next week. We'll talk about all this stuff that we just talked about and more. And that's that. So I'll see you kids. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Good night.